Alright, we're going to continue with FFD and lattice, and we're going to tie in a couple of the other things that we've worked on before. This tutorial is going to move pretty quick because we've covered most everything before, so a lot of it's review. I'm going to make a plane, which is going to be my radar dish. I'm going to up the amount of segments in it to make the part that I want for the radar dish to kind of show up here. You can see that that's what my radar dish is going to look like when I'm done. I'm going to pop this out to full view. I'm going to hit G to get rid of the grid. And I'm going to apply lattice to it. There we go. And I'm going to fix this up so that I end up with the kind of look I'm after. Oops, there we go. That'll work. I'm going to put end caps on this too, so there'll be little end caps on these. And now I'm going to apply FFD. The 4x4x4 in this case. I'm going to drop this down and get a hold of the control points. Rotate this guy around. I'm going to left drag around some of the control points. I'm going to hit move, and I'm going to move these back in space. I'm going to grab just the corners, so I'm holding down control and left dragging with the mouse. And I'm going to scale these in to get kind of a rounded look. So that's what I have so far. Actually, I pinched it a little bit too much. I'm going to pull them in this way and pull them in this way. I think that'll work a little better. Okay. So now we've got this kind of radar dish looking piece here. I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to make a new object. Over to my geometry, I'm going to make a cylinder and go back to my separate views. I'm going to drag out a cylinder and make it kind of stumpy. I'm going to place it down here below the piece. I'm going to make the cylinder an editable poly. I'm going to grab the vertices of the cylinder. I'm going to grab half of them and pull them up to about there. And I'm going to model with this just using scale in this case. So I'm going to pinch some parts together here just to kind of make it narrow. There we go. And back to my geometry. This time I'm going to make a sphere. Drag it out right on top, about that big. I'm going to make the segments in the sphere pretty low to get it kind of angular, plus I want the low poly part of it. And I need, not that angular. There we go. I'm going to rotate that around just to get it lined up with a straight side up against the radar dish. And now I'm going to link all of these together. Not attach them, but link them. That was this button up here. The radar dish is attached to the sphere, so I'm left dragging to each object. It'll blink when it's connected. I'm going to select the sphere, left drag down to this piece, and now when I grab the bottom piece, everything is going to spin around. Now I'm going to make my radar dish continue to spin. We're going to jump into animation real briefly here. And I'm going to jump down here to these numbers and my auto key. So I'm going to go to 50, hit auto key. Everything turns red. That means we're animating. And I'm going to rotate this. Let's rotate it around once. So 360. There we go. Close to 360. There it goes. I'm going to turn off auto key before I hit anything else, so I'm not animating things by accident. Now I'm going to hop over here to this button, which is the curve editor. You'll see that we have an animation here. We only have 3 objects. So finding the animation should be pretty easy. If you can't find the animation, you can click on the filters button, and you can just have this button here checked, not that one, but just that one, and it will show, I'm going to unclick this one, it'll show just the animated track, and you should see a curve here. Now, my curve, understanding this curve is really simple. We're going to be coming back to this a few times, but the height of the slope, so the steeper the slope, the faster the movement. So a slope that goes almost straight up and down is moving very quickly. At the bottom you see the slope isn't very steep. It kind of rolls into it, and at the top the same thing. That means it's slowing down. That's natural for Max to do, is to give you this S-curve. It's called easing in and easing out. We don't want that because we don't want our radar dish to start slowly, then get going, and then end, and then start slowly again, and then end. We want it to be consistent. So we right-click on the little vertex here, or the little button, the little keyframe, and on this side here, because it's going out from the keyframe, so out, we left-click, hold down, and select the straight one. See how it's coming straight out of the keyframe there. Same with this one over here, and it'll be straight out of the keyframe. Except that we have to highlight it. I was wondering why that wasn't working here. Let me, oh, there we go. Not sure why that's not working. I'm going to left click on this, and there we go. That's how it's supposed to look. I'm going to try this one again because that wasn't working very well. Make sure there's nothing else here. There we go. Right click on it. It's just not letting me do that. Let me poke around here real quick and see what rotations we've got. I'm going to right click on these, all of them here, to see where my problem is. There we go. Oh, that one works. It's just this one, huh? Oh, there we go. Okay. It should be pretty simple. I'm not sure if that's a problem with 8 or if I was doing something wrong or not. But anyways, now we've got a straight line. And we want to go up here to this window, click on it, and the one that we want is cycle. And since we're going that way, we want that button. And then we hit OK. And see how it's going to now cycle through this for the whole animation. What that means is, I'm going to close this. When I hit play, see how it's going to cycle forever. So it's just going to keep rotating. And that's how you can make the little radar dish on your tank continue to rotate. So let's grab everything. We'll color it a nice tank color just so it looks military. There we go, and that is our little radar dish that we can slap right on top of the tank, and it will just animate forever. A couple things, if you want to keep it animating, choose keyframes that fit into your timeline. So here I've got 0 to 50, and you'll see I've got 100 frames. So it's basically just looping over and over and over. Okay? And keep that in mind as you work on these, but we'll come back to animation a little bit more in the near future.